Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another video. So today I want to talk about these videos that were put up on the Sims website recently, where it's basically this live the life marketing campaign. And these are a set of 4 videos where it starts off in live action and then it goes into a sort of like computer generated version of The Sims 4 that's meant to like blend with the earlier segment of it. So first I'll go through all 4 of these and talk about a couple of really big issues that I have with them. So this first one is probably my favorite out of them because, I mean, cats! Look at all the cats! I love how they even have some pretty accurate accessories from the game, like the grilled cheese sandwich hat and the sweaters and the cat with the top hat that kind of reminds me of Mayor Whiskers. But yeah, lots of cats. Basically, that's the point of that one. The live action part is definitely exaggerated. You can't have nearly that many cats in your household at the same time. But yeah, the point is basically, if you want to just live your life as a cat person, then you can do that in The Sims 4. The next one features a woman in a bathtub brushing her teeth and also eating chips. Okay. Not really something I would do at the same time, but yep. Basically, the point of it is to show off that, yes, you can multitask in The Sims 4. And she becomes a mermaid, and then she's a mermaid in the game. There's even a fireplace right by the bathtub. Wow. But this one is a little weird, because you can't eat chips or brush your teeth in the bathtub at the same time, let alone do all 3 of those things. There are some good examples when you play the game, like when you run on the treadmill and watch the cooking channel at the same time so that you build fitness and cooking skills simultaneously. That would have been a much better example than this. But I guess it's just the whole weirdness factor of this, with this person doing all these things in the bathtub at the same time, that they would do something like this instead. This one I think is the most true to the spirit of The Sims, where you have a real estate agent showing off this house, and then, oh, there's a guy on the toilet watching TV in the middle of the room. Because, yeah, that's definitely something you can do if you want to. Just place the toilet in the middle of the living room, multitask that way, and yeah, you could even eat food while on the toilet. I mean, even with nifty knitting stuff, you can knit while on the toilet too, so yeah, that's definitely a quirky Sims thing that makes sense, that is pretty accurately portrayed on screen there. We don't have a real estate agent career though. I think that would be interesting. Though there would be the obstacle of what if every single lot in your save file is occupied by a household, then I guess it would just have to turn into a full-on rabbit hole career. But yeah, I think that could be an interesting thing to put in the game in the future that I would not be totally surprised if it did happen. This last one is definitely the weirdest one, where this woman dives underwater straight out of bed to go and get food from her refrigerator while still swimming underwater, and yeah, grabs a banana, goes back up, and yay, she got her banana. That's pretty much it. But this one doesn't make any sense to me. How did they come up with this one? Because you can't do this in the game at all. Sure, even in The Sims 3 you could dive underwater, but you can't have a fully functioning kitchen underwater. So this is just what? This is really false advertising. It's amazing what you can get away with by saying not all images appear in-game like it has appeared in the bottom of all these videos. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. Does this somehow confirm The Sims 4 underwater living expansion pack for next year? No, probably not. Though it would be awesome to be able to have our mermaids dive underwater like we should have with Island Living, because that was a really weird aspect of that, where the scuba diving is just a rabbit hole. I would not be opposed to the idea of having a kitchen underwater, but it's just, this one is just so strange. I'm still so confused as to how they even came up with the idea of all possible ideas to just have this woman going underneath the water as if most of her house was underwater. It's not a new concept for video games to have these live action commercials to try and make the game look cooler than it actually is when you play it. But this one I feel like could mislead people, because what if some people are thinking like, oh, hey, wow, okay, The Sims is really unique here, where you could even live an underwater lifestyle if you want to, but then when you buy the game, no, you actually can't. The closest you can really get is to buy a tropical themed expansion pack where you just watch the sim go underwater from the surface and just imagine that cool things are happening while they're underwater. One other aspect that confuses me, though, is at the beginning of all 4 of these videos, it lists the ESRB rating as E to teen, from everyone to teens. So what is going on here? Because The Sims 4 is rated T for teen, and that's the same as the previous 3 entries in the series that are mainline titles. So why would they not simply just say rated T for teen? Well, there's 2 possibilities that I can think of here. The first one is far simpler, and it's that they're covering all their bases, because they could also be including the spin-off games. My Sims was rated E for everyone. So is that enough to make them change that? Probably not, because My Sims isn't going. It's been dead for years. So the only other thing I can think of is that they could be covering their bases in advance. What if The Sims 5 or some future spin-off game could be rated E for everyone? This worries me, because with The Sims 3 and The Sims 4, I feel like they have dumbed down the maturity in comparison to what the first 2 games were like. I still play The Sims 2 sometimes, and I blush a little bit when I see The Sims do that really intense makeout interaction on the couch, and it's just not something I can imagine them ever doing again, which is pretty sad. So I feel at this point, the only thing that is keeping The Sims 4 from being rated E for everyone is the whole woohoo aspect. And even though woohoo has been such an integral part of The Sims for almost as long as it's been around, and is also part of like the meme culture, I feel like just so that they can make the game rated E for everyone and potentially draw in more sales, they could make The Sims 5 be rated E for everyone, though I'd be really scared to also see what they would replace woohoo with. Back when the original version of The Sims released, how your Sims could have a baby was if you had your 2 partners kiss each other, and then there'd be a chance of a dialogue box popping up where your partner would say, "Should we have a baby?" And if you say yes, then instantly a bassinet will appear out of thin air and there is your baby. It wasn't until the first expansion pack for The Sims, Live Enlarge, which came with the heartbed. And then there is that interaction where your Sims have the option to play in, which is basically the first iteration of woohoo, where you could have a baby that way. So I would not want to see that sort of method come back where it's just your Sims kissing and should we have a baby? As much respect as I have for the original version of the game, we should not go that far backwards. I also feel that The Sims has been more aimed at kids lately through things like the more recent trailers, where it feels more like a little story time sort of thing rather than actually showing off that much of the gameplay with the pack. And also the difficulty, I think, has been dumbed down quite a lot. With Realm of Magic, for example, it is far too easy overall, but the part of that I think about the most in terms of difficulty is how to become a spellcaster in-game. That quest is just so easy, it's bizarre. If you're going to become someone so powerful, it should become really challenging to attain that power. So it's just like, what the heck? I feel like I could have done that quest as a 6-year-old and I'd have no trouble whatsoever with it. I'm not saying I want the game to be as difficult as the original, because the original, I think, was too difficult. That was too far in the other direction. But I really liked how with Discovery University, I genuinely do struggle with it. If I have more than 2 Sims in the same household with more than 2 or 3 classes per semester, then it is absolutely going to be a challenge. So I would love to see more gameplay like that in The Sims, where it can be really difficult, and not to the point where it's going to be extremely frustrating, but just to the point where it feels like as if I'm not being treated like a child when I'm playing. So with the Sims brand being treated as rated from E to teen in those ads, it really makes me wonder if that's where the game is going to continue going in the future, where it is going to feel more like as a game that's aimed at kids, rather than a game that's being aimed at teens and older like the earlier games were, and at least with The Sims 4 at first. So feel free to let me know in the comment section below what you think of these ads, and if you really think that they are representing a sign of things to come, especially in terms of the ratings. Or is it really just because My Sims was rated E for everyone? And be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest gaming content, including simulation games and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!